Did somebody say trick or treat? Well, I'm afraid the only treat I have for you right now, and maybe it's a trick come to think of it, is another visit to the Mask Fan Attic here above Horror Hotel, where we get together every week and take a few minutes to discuss some interesting or noteworthy latex Halloween mask, you see. And thank you for joining me in spite of this terrible weather. You can probably hear the storm. In fact, I bumped into a guy in a store the other day. Nobody was hurt, but a guy said he had been watching some of these videos in the attic, and he said, I can't help but notice every time you go up to that attic, it sounds like it's raining. It always sounds like thunder and rain pouring outside. And I said, well, don't forget I live in Ohio. And he said, oh, that explains it. But anyway, on to this week's hideous and creepy and spooky mask. Straight from Don Post Studios, a little number that was only in production for 1 year. Count it, one, officially. And that would be this ghastly thing called, I kid you not, post-Holocaust. You get it? Post-Holocaust? He's kind of a nuclear, toxic nuclear meltdown. See, he's been burned up with some sort of radioactive agent, I should think, and he's all melted and crispy. He's kind of a ghost toasty, kind of a crispy critter. Now on the tag here, it is spelled correctly, which is to say post and then Holocaust, Holocaust, Holocaust. But there is a print catalog out there from 1991, which was his year, in which the title of the mask is spelled Holocost. So either that's somebody's idea of a little pun or play on words, sort of a little joke, you know, like involving the word cost, as in how much would it cost to get somebody to proofread your catalog before it goes to print? Yeah. Or somebody just couldn't spell when they set the catalog up. But anyway, however you care to spell it, it's a very rare mask these days. It's a very hard one to find because unlike a lot of the Don Post masks, as I was saying, it was not in production very long, officially only 1 year. Now on the tag it says 1989, and on the back of the mask, really tiny, it says 1990. But well, the tag doesn't matter because that was all they did was simply use tags that were already printed, previously printed tags, you see, from 89. So when you're dating a mask, don't go by necessarily what the tag says, because the year the tag was printed isn't necessarily the same year the mask was minted, printed and minted. And by the way, if you are dating a mask, you should really do something about your social life. Moving right along, 1991 was the catalog year that he finally made it into. I don't know why he didn't catch on in a bigger way. I always thought he was cool and scary and gross and disgusting. Maybe it was a little too late in the history of the United States of America to be peddling masks of nuclear meltdown looking burned up radiation zombies. Maybe that would have been a bigger hit either in the early 80s when there were more movies about that kind of thing, or even later. Maybe he would be a reasonably popular mask today, you know, but for some reason he was not embraced by the mask community very much when he did come along, so he didn't stay in production very long. One thing I like a lot about this guy, and I don't know if you're going to be able to tell it here, but I'm going to try to show you. If you enjoy burning things, do you enjoy burning things? I'll bet you do. You look like you would. You may have noticed sometimes burning things look black, sort of flat black on the outside, but they still look like they have kind of an orangey red glow inside because they're still smoldering underneath. Well, this mask has that effect, and I have here the little black light, which I routinely use in my police investigations, and I'm going to try to show you. I don't know if that shows up on your monitor. You know what I need to do, I think, is turn this light off. So pardon me for just a moment. Hi, kids. Okay, how about now? Can you see that? I don't know if that's going to pick up really wonderfully with the camera, but it's an awesome effect in person. It really looks like it's black and burned up and toasted and crispy on the outside, and then there's this bright red glow coming from underneath the black paint, making it look like he's a big smoldering ember, like a big burning coal, basically. So it's a great effect, and this was a very inexpensive mask. He sold for like 30 bucks back in the day, $35. Let me turn that back on. Yeah, did that do anything for you? Was it, yeah, you look happy, so okay. Anyway, as I was saying, a difficult one to find, but a pretty cool mask, I think, nonetheless. And interestingly, you may be able to see this, he's actually made out of red rubber. You see that? It's not just, you know, blacklight reactive paint over regular latex. He's actually made of red tinted latex. So anyway, post-Holocaust, the scary melting radiation zombie from 1990-91 period of Don Post Studios, created in 90, released in 91 to be specific. And that's your mask recommendation for this week. And until next week, I'll be up here trying to find my way out of the attic.